boat that rocked. What a way to be alive. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. We are here in Vandeleur Gardens. It is a walled garden with a lot of history, and I'm not even going to try and tell you that on this vlog, but we're going to show loads of footage around the gardens, how beautiful this actually is. We are now in County Clare. We've left Kerry behind. We're now in County Clare, but the gardens here, absolutely stunning. And we found loads of plants we want to buy, but unfortunately we can't take them back with us because we're still on the road for a few more days. It wouldn't be fair to shut them up in the car and then go through all that risk of trying to get them over back home, where it should be okay, but you just don't know. But yeah, beautiful gardens. Enjoy. Oh, just pulled over. We've got this little, we saw the coastline actually originally. You see that beautiful view behind me. But here we have got the grave of yellow men, and the story has been handed down apparently from generation to generation. And 9 or 11, it says 9 or 11 yellow men were buried here in a mass grave overlooking the Atlantic. And it was originally thought that they were Oriental, possibly from China or Japan. There's a map which sort of gives possible departure points of where they might have come from. But that's only because of the phrase, I guess the phrase yellow man has been used there. But it's not to be forgotten that the Spanish Armada landed in Ireland as well. So possibly it's got something to do with that one. And the Spanish are also referred to as yellow men. So interesting, but did not expect to see this when we were here. But they reckon if there were Spanish yellow men, they might have departed from Spain, Portugal, maybe Morocco, or Tunisia, Egypt, of a possible departure point. But they reckon anyway that they most likely drowned on the Kilcloa rocks, which is a kilometre from Kilbahar in County Clare, and that was in the late 1800s, and apparently there's only one bit of written documentation to support this. So yeah, it's actually quite a tragic story actually, but this is the grave of the yellow men, where 9 shipwrecked French were buried about 60 years ago, and the ship hit difficulties and they threw a rope ashore, and apparently 9 of them were saved. But it's horrible, horrible, horrible. Apparently this wretched story of the doomed sailors has been part of the peninsula's oral tradition for about 140 years. Wow. So this memorial in July 2010 was basically designed in place to, it's a memorial basically for the yellow men, and also it's a nice way of the locals caring for them and not losing their memory. But there's a lot of gaps in that story. I'm reciting as much of it as I remember from what I've seen so far, but that is a truly fantastic story. Head Lighthouse, and it's absolutely stunning. This was provisionally manned from like 1600s, but more recently was modernised. It was now electric, and I don't want to guess the years, but I want to say it was about the 1990s where it was actually modified. So you can see it up above me there. A flight, I think 74 steps up to the top. But the really impressive thing of it is the beacon on the top of the lighthouse. You have that bit all the way up there. That can shine up to 42 kilometres from the coastline. So basically, you can see it 42 kilometres away from where it is actually situated. Absolutely amazing. The history in here, fantastic. And yeah, the last lightkeeper who basically maintained it had a family here, and actually I think had 3 of their children here as well, was looking after it. And they were given 7 tonnes of coal to keep the place warm in the winter time. That is being looked after. But yeah, Lighthouse Lighthouse is absolutely stunning and lovely to walk around it and just savour it and understand some of the history behind it. Absolutely lovely, and another place hopefully you've enjoyed some of the footage of. Nice to share these things with you all.